Hey everybody, welcome back to Muck Club. Today we are doing something a little bit differently, and we've done this once before. About several weeks ago, about a month and a half ago, I think it was. We had the occasion where I didn't do a regular video, and the reason was because uh, we were having a church service at 11 a.m. where we had some guest musicians and then a church dinner afterwards. And so I went to that and we had the dinner and I had considered live streaming eating food at that dinner, but it didn't work out. There were different obstacles in the way of doing that. And so what I did was I kept some of the dessert from that and came out here and did an episode just eating the dessert from that. Well, that's what we're doing again today because I just came from one of those church services and church dinners. Um, One of the groups the group that we had there today was Ernie Couch and Revival. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with them or not. I had never heard of them before this church booked them, and we heard that they were going to be there. Takes my hair there real quick. And so we went there today to hear them for the first time. They did a fantastic job. And so after hearing them live, I am definitely going to check out some of their recordings. And we're going to react to one of their studio recordings. It's coming up soon on the Light Side Music Reactions. So be on the lookout for that. Music reaction from Ernie Couch and Revival. It's a Southern gospel group that has uh, very diverse, I guess you would say, set of influences. And so, hi Eric, good to see you. But anyway, their influences go from the 1930s and 40s and 50s all the way up to the 2000s and 2010s. They have performed with a lot of great musicians over the years, big name groups and artists, and we'll talk about that in the video in which I do that reaction. But anyway, we got to hear them sing today, and I'm looking forward to hearing them on a live, or not live, but on a studio recording. Our family is doing very well, Eric. Mom is doing well. I was just talking about how we had this church dinner and music concert this morning, and my mom and dad were both there for that event, and mom is doing well, getting around well, and doing fantastic. So thank you for asking. But anyway, um, we've got a few videos coming up this week that you guys might be interested in checking out. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed and turn on notifications, and you'll know when we add new content. We do have throughout the week, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. every day, we add a new video that is usually the Light Side Music Reactions. This week, a couple of ones that we have that we're going to react to is the Marine Rapper with his recent one hit wonder that it became a viral video, and also something from Alan Jackson for those of you country music fans. And for those of you that have been requesting uh, some other artists, stay tuned because we are working on getting in those reactions that you have requested as well, including the one that you requested, Eric. We'll be having that one coming up soon also. Excuse me. But anyway, among those again is Beyonce. We've got Beyonce song coming up that I'm going to react to, which was requested. And also, for those of you Flora Jansen fans that have been telling me to give her a second chance and to explore some of the stuff that she's done with her bands instead of just her solo project, we have a reaction coming up of her with Nightwish. And so I've already done those two reactions, the Beyonce and Flora Jansen with Nightwish, but they are a little bit lengthy, and I'm having trouble with my editing software getting the videos down to a size to where it can save them onto my drive, have enough room for it, and also not reduce the quality so much that it is just simply unwatchable. So anyway, I'm working on that. As soon as I get those down to a reasonable file size, and I'm able to upload those, I will get those up for you to watch. But anyway, that's what's coming up soon. Do Kenny Chesney. Then there goes my life. Is that what one you're saying? I have heard that song. It's a great song. I will definitely check that one out. Kenny Chesney, There Goes My Life. Great song. Okay, well, here's what we're eating today. I'll go ahead and show it to you. All right, here it is. We got our desserts. Move it around a little bit so you can get a good view and hopefully get a good thumbnail in there some way. Good looking stuff, right? Okay, so we got pineapple upside down cake. We've got a couple brownies here. You can see this one is kind of plain with, looks like might have some nuts in it. I'm not sure what kind of nuts those are, but it does have some nuts in it. Then we got a brownie here that's got a little bit of a, looks like a caramel drizzle on the top of it. And I'll take this piece off. This is from a piece I had sitting on top. There you go. You can see the pattern a little bit better. I kind of messed it up already. And then the pineapple upside down cake. I got 2 pieces of that. And get that fudge off there. And then a piece of, I'm not sure if that's blackberry or blueberry. It looks like probably blueberry pie. So today we're doing desserts. Do what? SOICE. I'm not sure what that is, what that's a reference to. Some kind of sauce. All right. So you guys go ahead and feel free to start talking in the chat. Eric, do you keep posting your comments? We'll have a conversation back and forth while we eat here. I brought a plastic fork with me. So that way I'm not trying to eat these desserts with my fingers. What should we start with? We got the berry pie. We got the 2 pieces of fudge brownies. And we got the pineapple upside down cake. I think I'm going to start with one of the brownies. Okay, here's the brownie that's got the drizzle on it. I'm going to start with this plain looking one. Okay. Looks like fudge brownie. You can see it's regular brownie cake on the inside there. And on the top, it's got a thin layer of the fudge icing. And then little bits and pieces of some kind of nuts in there. Let's go ahead and take a bite. It's real soft feeling in my hands. It's got a peanut butter taste to it. I didn't expect a peanut butter. But it's got peanut butter in there too somehow. I don't see it. But it's definitely got a peanut butter taste. It's good. Where's that peanut butter taste coming from? Let's try the cake mix. It's not the cake mix. I don't think it's even the fudge. don't taste it. Mmm. But when I take a big bite all together, I get this very distinct taste of peanut butter in there. It's really good, nice and rich. Now the cake itself on the inside isn't very rich. It's just your plain chocolate cake flavor. The icing on top, okay, there must be some peanut butter in there. I got a taste of it there. I don't know if it's mixed in. Oh, there we go. If you look carefully, you can see a little bit of the light colored right there. I think that's peanut butter in there. So it's a mixture. The icing seems to be a mixture of fudge and peanut butter. Gives it a really nice taste. It's not extremely rich, but it's got that nice, strong peanut butter taste. And wee little bits of some kind of nut in there. Gives it a nice little crunch. Very good. That's an excellent brownie. I need to find out who made those and get the recipe, because that was good. Very good. Excellent. Okay, now moving on to the other brownie. This one's a little bit firmer. It's not bending in my hand. It's a different kind of cake than the other one. I imagine somebody else made this one than made the first one. See, it's got the caramel drizzle on the top. Go ahead and break into it. It's just falling apart. But it's like solid chunks. Okay. This is more of a brownie. The other one was more like cake, chocolate cake on the inside. This one's more of a brownie on the inside. Very solid and firm. Okay. Can't really taste that caramel. I'm tasting the brownie is pretty overwhelming. Very strong taste on the brownie. Okay. It's very good. A little bit rich for me. So I'm not going to finish that. I'll finish it later. But I don't want to eat too many desserts all at once. My waistline needs all the help it can get. So I don't want to eat too much. Just enough to really sample these items for you. And also, being that rich, I just imagine it's just really filled with calories and sugar and all that stuff that's really not too healthy for me. So Out of those two brownies, I would have to give the edge to the first one. This one, I would give a 5. It's a very solid, very good brownie, but just a little bit rich for me. Um, Again, if you like rich chocolate, you like brownies, it's got that nice little drizzle on the top, but I couldn't really taste it because the taste of the brownie was just so strong and overwhelming. Now, also here, you guys, the regular viewers, know that I am a Sprite drinker. Well, today, we've got a generic version, which is called Twist Up. I'm going to go ahead and do a taste test on this. This is basically the Walmart version. You go to Walmart and get their generic brand, they've got this, the Twist Up. It's a lemon lime soda, much like Sprite. So let's go ahead and taste this and see what it's like. Okay. Okay, it's light, like Sprite is. It's not overwhelming. Might be just a little bit heavy on the carbonation. I imagine I would burp more drinking this than I would with regular Sprite. And it doesn't have as strong a taste as Sprite. It's almost like watered down Sprite. So it has a little bit more subtle flavor to it. So if you like your lemon lime sodas, this would be a good substitute for Sprite if you're looking for a cheaper alternative and just wanting something to be able to just clear your mouth, your taste buds, sort of stuff. It's not quite as good as Sprite. If I were to give Sprite, for example, an 8 out of 10, I'd give this 6.5. I mean, it's good. It's okay. But the flavor is real subtle. So it's not as bold as that. It doesn't have that bold of a lemon lime flavor as the Sprite does. Okay. Moving on now to the pineapple upside down cake. Once again, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. You see the cake on the inside there. Right here. That's the cake. And then here is some kind of a topping on it. That looks nice and rich. And you got your pineapple slice. It looks like a cherry in the middle. Let's go ahead and take a piece of the cake. Okay. It's got that that typical yellow cake flavor. Let's take another piece this time with a little bit of the pineapple. Okay. The cake is soft and fluffy. Is there something in the cake? It's like yellow cake, but it's got a little bit of extra flavor in there too. I don't know if they've added some pineapple into the mix, into the cake mix, or if I'm just tasting the pineapple that's kind of maybe soaked in from the pineapple sitting on top. But I'm getting a distinct taste of pineapple in the cake mix. Gives it that little extra flavor that you normally don't get in the yellow cake. The pineapple is very nice and moist. Very good taste on the cake. Let's taste some of this this edge right here. Mmm. That's pretty good, but it's got a strong flavor. Once again, I think if you eat that, you almost need to eat it with the cake. You don't want to eat it by itself. You want to take a bite of the cake with it, because just like the fudge was a little bit overbearing for me, the fudge brownie, or not the fudge, but the brownie itself. That edge right there is a little bit strong and overbearing for me by itself. Let's try a bite of it with the cake. There you go. Yeah, this is best when you get all the elements in one bite. You got that yellow cake. You got that kind of orangish brown crust on the side. You got a little bit of pineapple. Very good. In fact, you probably don't even need the pineapple. With those juices, like I said, melting down into the cake itself. Here, let's try this piece. There, you see you got the cake there. You got the orange crust. This time without the pineapple. I take it back. You do get the pineapple flavor in there, but it's better when you get a chunk of pineapple in there with it too. Okay, let's go ahead and get one more bite here with pineapple. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Get all 3 elements in one bite. That's a good combination. And now add in the cherry. Mmm. Could have done without the cherry. The cherry the cherry tasted artificial, like one of those synthetic cherries, not an actual fresh cherry. Other than that, that piece of pineapple cake, upside down cake, was very good. Okay, I'm going to save that last piece of pineapple upside down cake for later, as well as that half of the chocolate brownie with a drizzle on it. I'm going to keep that second half of that brownie for later. I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and let that digest a little bit while we talk a little bit on here. And then if that digests enough, I'm feeling full with all these heavy desserts. So, I'm going to let that digest for a little bit. Excuse me. Let that digest a little bit while we talk on here for a few minutes. And then before we go, if it's digested enough to where I feel I can make a little bit more room in my stomach, I'll go ahead and eat some of that. Looks like blueberry pie. I'll eat some of that too. But right now, my stomach is feeling full, so we may not end up getting to that last piece of pie. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a little bit. How are you guys doing today? What's new with you guys? Feel free to go ahead and comment in the chat, or if you're watching this on the video replay, you can comment in the comments below. Just bring up any topic you want to and start a conversation. And if it's in the if others are watching and joining in, you can have a conversation back and forth. Uh, you can talk about the food that we're having today. What are some of you guys' favorite desserts? What kind of stuff do you like? Are you a cake or a pie person? Do you prefer pie or cake? For me, I'd say 9 times out of 10, I would probably say pie. I'm not big on your traditional sweet desserts. For example, breakfast cereals. Whenever I eat breakfast cereal, my favorite cereals are the like Raisin Bran, Corn Flakes. Frosted Flakes are good. The flakes that are a little bit better for you, with a little bit of frosting that isn't quite so good for you. But I'm not big on the sugary stuff like the Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, basically all the kids cereals that have these characters that do the commercials for them, cartoon characters. Those kind of cereals aren't really my thing. I don't really go for all the sweetness in desserts and breakfast cereals. My favorite cereals, I think one of my all-time favorite cereals growing up, and I don't think they even make it anymore, is called Mueslix. And it was some sort of granola sort of flavored mix. It was almost like the kind of trail mix that you get like if like in your grocery store sort of thing. You get them in the little baggies sort of things, trail mix, or you can get them in cans. And it's got stuff like raisins and dates and walnuts and peanuts, stuff like that, and fruits and nuts. That's the kind of breakfast I like, breakfast cereal. And granola, I like those. And I think Mueslix, the cereal that I used to get when I was a kid, it was a combination of that, the granola and the trail mix sort of stuff. What about you guys? What are some of your favorite breakfast cereals? Do you like the sweet stuff, or do you prefer the flaky stuff that's a little bit healthier? And of course, that I guess spills over into the kind of desserts that you like. I'm not big on cake. You get a birthday cake once a year, and that's fine. Ice cream cake is really cool. I always liked ice cream cake. But if I had my choice between cake and pie, I think my favorite pies are I like sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't like sweet potatoes, and I didn't care for sweet potato pie. But probably about 20 years ago or so, I went to a grocery store. It was around Thanksgiving time, and I was living on my own at the time. It was after my divorce, and so it wasn't quite 20 years ago. It's probably about 10, 15 years ago. But anyway, went to a grocery store, and I was going back to my apartment, and it was just me living there by myself. And I wanted to get something. It was late night. Oh boy, I can tell you a story about that night. I remember that night. Oh man. That was a crazy visit to the store. But and I'll save that story for later. I might tell you that story sometime. Crazy story about getting hit on. And it wasn't a pleasant interaction. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, I went to the store and I wanted to get me something to take home to eat for later. Maybe have a little bit that night and then save the rest for maybe the next day or even spread out across the week. And I was thinking, it's getting close to Thanksgiving. It's just me. My family is living, a good close to 100 miles away. And so I thought I'd go ahead and get me a pie or something. And so I went to their deli and bakery section, looking through their different pies and stuff. And I saw they had pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie. And I thought, man, it's been a long time since I've tried these. And I didn't really care for them back in the day. But I'll go ahead and give them a try. It's Thanksgiving coming up. I'll go ahead and try it. So I went ahead and bought one of each, took them home, and I loved them. So ever since then, sweet potato pie around Thanksgiving time is one of my favorite pies. Another one I like is pecan pie, or as Sandy on SpongeBob would say, pecan pie. Peas in a can pie. Depending on what area you're from, what dialect you have, you might pronounce it differently. But I call it pecan pie. I love pecan pie. It's one of my favorites. My dad's favorite is cherry pie. I do like apple pie. Cherry pie is okay, but I like apple better. And so fruit pies pretty much are my thing when it comes to desserts. But even that, I'm not huge on pies. I'm not huge on the desserts at all. Um, if I were going to get a dessert, something to just snack on late at night, sort of thing, you don't want to have a whole meal and you don't feel like eating like a sandwich or something like that. You just want something to just kind of snack on. I might get me a bag of Doritos, the regular nacho flavored ones. Those are my favorites. Don't need to get fancy with it. I don't even care that much for the Cool Ranch flavor, which is my second favorite of the Doritos. Kind of vanilla sort of thing as far as bland. People say that's not very adventurous to just get the nacho cheese or the Cool Ranch, but I'm not big on the bold flavors and sort of stuff on that. I did a review, Mutt Club episode a few months ago on some different flavored Doritos uh, items that they had just come out with. And I found in that review that some of the bolder ones were okay, and I preferred some of the bolder ones simply because the ones that weren't quite as bold were just kind of bland and they all kind of tasted the same. But none of them really appealed that much to me. I haven't gone out and bought any more since I did that review, and I don't think I would because they're just not for me. I mean, they're good. They were good, and I said as much in my review. But for me personally, if I'm going to eat that sort of thing as a snack, I'm just going to get the regular nacho cheese Doritos. Or if I was getting regular potato chips, I like the Ruffles brand potato chips. Or you can get the Lay's brand. But when you get the Lay's brand, they're kind of greasy, I think, for my taste. A little bit too greasy. And I prefer the Ruffles over the Lay's crinkle ones because I like how on the Lay's or on the Ruffles, the ridges are tighter. They're closer together. You get more of a nice solid crunch to it. I really like that texture. And on the Lay's, the waves are spread out too far for my taste. And I don't know why that would make a difference if it's just a texture thing, or if the taste is factored into that as well. But I like the Ruffles. I like the Doritos, the nacho cheese Doritos. I like Pringles. Like you used to get Pringles in a can, and Lay's does have a good version of those. Those baked Lay's in a can that come like the Doritos. The can is shaped just slightly differently from the or not Doritos. The Lay's in a can like the Pringles. They come in a can just like the Pringles, except that the can is shaped slightly differently. But those baked Lay's, those are good. Baked chips. And sometimes you can find a generic brand. Like I think it's Walmart has a generic brand of the ruffled potato chips that are pretty good. But again, they're a little bit on the greasy side. So if you're not a fan of the greasy chips, might not be your thing. But I enjoy those. In fact, I like those better than the Lay's brand. Not the Lay's baked chips. The Lay's baked chips are very nice, or you might call them crisps because they're not exactly chips. I think that's the difference in in the United Kingdom, in England. They don't call them chips over there; they call them crisps, like what we call potato chips. But what we call crisps here in the United States, they're like potato chips, except they're a little bit. I think they're baked is the big difference in them. Like if you get the Pringles, I wouldn't call the okay. Here's the difference, in my opinion, from an American. You get the Ruffles and the Lay's in a bag. The ruffled and the flat chips that just come, the plain Lay's chips, those are potato chips. But you get these ones that are baked, like the Pringles or the baked Lay's. I would call those crisps. They're not the same as potato chips. They're more crispy tasting. They've got a more solid crunch to them, and they've got a more solid texture. So that's what I would call crisps. In the UK, they call them all crisps. And what they call chips over there are what we call fries, French fries. And so a little bit of difference in the language barrier as far as what we call those items. But anyway, speaking of desserts, that's just what came across my mind today. All right, we're 37 minutes in. I hope you guys are having a good time here. Watch my video. Let that digest a little bit. I still don't think I have room in there for that pie. I'll go ahead and take a few bites here just to give you guys an idea of what it tastes like, and I'll talk about it here in our closing minutes. But as you guys are finishing up in the chat, and any of you that want to comment afterwards in the description as you're watching the replay, go ahead and comment down below. What are some of your favorite potato chips and crisps? And what do you find the distinction between them? Maybe name some of your favorite brands and the specific flavors or styles. Go ahead and talk about that in the comments. And also, as we talked about a little bit earlier, some of your favorite desserts. What do you prefer, cake or pie? What kind of pie? What kind of cake? Here's another thing. When you eat pie or cake, do you like to eat it with ice cream? I like, when you get a nice fruit pie with whatever fruit it may be, you get a nice piece of pie and put a scoop or two of ice cream on there, vanilla ice cream. That can be pretty nice in the summertime. So comment about that. Your favorite pie or cake, and which you prefer, cake or pie. And do you like the sweet stuff? Breakfast cereals. What's some of your favorite breakfast cereals? All right, let's talk about that in the comments. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap things up. We'll go ahead and try this pie here. It looks good, but I just don't have a lot of room in my stomach left. All right, here's what it looks like. Nice and gooey. See that berry mix in it. It's not bad. Let's try just this bit of crust. It's not the outside crust that's right here, but just like the topping, the smooth part. Very doughy. Almost like it might be just slightly underdone. Okay, now let's get some of these berries. Okay, it's not bad. It's got a nice, strong flavor to it, but it's not overbearing. It's not very distinct. and it's almost a little bit bland, almost as if it's not fresh berries, but probably something that came out of a can. Yeah, not the greatest berries. It does taste like something just out of a can. Okay, now let's try the crust. Mm. Yeah, the bread on it, the crust, and the smooth part on the top tastes like it might just be a little bit underdone. It's not bad, but it tastes like, it almost tastes just like what you would expect, like if you stopped by your grocery store and just picked one up. Okay, let's go ahead and get a bite with all three elements in it. You got the berries, you got a bit of the outside crust, and you got a bit of the layer on top. Altogether, they complement themselves each other pretty well. So if you were to take a bite of the whole thing, not just one or two ingredients by themselves, it's actually pretty good flavor to it. One more bite. Mm. All right. Again, not bad. The pie, I'd give a 5. Or maybe a 4.5. 4.5 or a 5. It's definitely not something I would toss out. But if I had a bunch of different options on the table to choose from, different desserts, that's not the one I would have picked. So that's my verdict on today's desserts. Anyway, it's been good talking with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video and had a good time. If you did, hit the like button. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider doing that, subscribing to the channel and turn on your notifications. And if you do that, then you'll know the next time we go live, which is typically on a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, give or take. And you can join us in the live chat while we sample and talk about these foods that we're trying. And also, if you're subscribed, you'll get a notification whenever we add new content throughout the week, which typically is every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. We'll drop a new video 9 times out of 10, or maybe 19 times out of 20. The videos that we drop throughout the week are the light side music reactions, and I've really been enjoying doing those the last few months. We're getting close to the 100th episode on that. And every once in a while, we'll throw in an episode of the light side reaction reviews, which is the flagship program that we launched on this channel. How we got our start several years ago, reacting to TV, movies, and trailers. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m., with the light side music reactions. And tomorrow's video is my reaction to that hilarious viral video by the Marine rapper called Eat the Cat. Anyway, come back tomorrow for that. And the rest of the week, we'll have some other stuff for you from Southern Gospel, country, and some other genres. Rock, pop, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, see you next time. Bye, everybody.